Hi everyone, how you guys doing? My name is Lola Shaffer. Welcome to my channel. Today we're having this live based on a hot topic. Now, I know you guys have been hearing stuff about, Porsha Williams, what's been going on with her. She's been called all kinds of names other than a child of God. So what we wanted to do today was more or less not jump on the bandwagon of calling her names, but try and break it down. So we're calling this girl code versus guy code. So we know Porsha Williams. She's part of this franchise, Real Housewives of Atlanta. She was engaged to someone called Dennis McKinley. Engagement has been a little shaky. So here in last season, she meets, at least she's friends or friendly with a certain personality called, Husband Guobadia. They meet at a house. So whatever they are, the question here is, are they friends? Are they not friends? Because right now, the point here is that she announced about a week and a half ago that she's now engaged to Phelan's still husband. They're separated. The divorce is not final, but they're now engaged. And so there's all this talk. I've just been hearing talk about, Porsha is this, Porsha is that. I'm not supporting her. And I'm not, I'm not calling her Delilah right now. But the question is girl code. She says she wasn't Phelan's friend. Was she Phelan's friend? Were they friendly? Have some lines been crossed? But I don't just want to leave it there. There are other issues as well, because the guy she's with, Simon, is also her baby daddy's friend or business partner. Simon and Dennis are friends or friendly. So were some other codes broken? So we're going to kind of break it down, talk about it, not necessarily just jumping, because we're not here to spill tea. Tasha K is good for that. So I'm going to introduce my panel who are going to, kind of break down the issues. So the first person coming up is going to be, these are all my, family members now. So first, the guy, smooth talker, always has a great, funny opinion, but something to share. I'm not great at announcing like, Kojo, but here, let's bring the drum roll for Didi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you good. Clear picture,
Yeah,
and I can hear you.
Yeah,
So
my Wi-Fi has been
far,
giving me problems.
Yeah, I know you've been talking about this Wi-Fi, so we'll try and get this ball rolling, and hopefully you can get a good conversation going before the Wi-Fi throws you out.
Hi.
So the next person I have is another family member, strong woman, a woman of God, also very funny, very insightful, smart. Everyone put your hands together for RHOA. Hey, welcome. So we are missing a few people, but we'll go ahead and start, because the main thing, we have two girls and we have a guy. We can start this conversation. So the main thing for me really is, like I was saying, I know you guys don't necessarily follow the show, but we know that Porsha Williams, a character on Real Housewives of Atlanta, has now announced that she's engaged to a gentleman who is still married to a colleague's. That's a colleague's husband. They met on the show, or rather, she met this guy through her, I guess, her ex-fiance. So they know each other, and of course, she knows Phelan. So the question is, I want to start with, what is girl code? RHOA, what do you think girl code is?
Okay. You can hear me now, right?
Yes, I can hear you now.
All right. Hi, y'all. Hi, Didi. Hi, Lola. Hi, everybody in the chat. Hi, Maria. Okay. So, to me, girl code is really just this unwritten rule of sisterhood between women who know each other. It's really a rule that's based off of loyalty to the women instead of loyalty to the men, because the whole situation is that if my friend, if an ex of my friend wants to date me, I will. I'm not going to oblige because of the relationship of that man to my friend, to my girlfriend. So it's the loyalty of women to each other with regards to relationship and regards to the things that would breach that loyalty.
So Maria, welcome. We were talking, I don't know if you heard the breakdown. We're talking about Porsha Williams, the breakdown. She's Phelan's friend, or she was friendly with Phelan, but now she's engaged to Phelan's still husband. And so the thing is, was some rules broken? What's girl code to you?
Yeah, that whole situation is a mausoleum. So girl code to me is a lot of what Adjua said, and I will say, like, it's almost like unwritten rules,
Mm-hmm.
unspoken rules that you go by as women, and it's specific to how you engage with men that are affiliated with the women that are in your life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's when girl code comes into play. Is like, I have a friend who has a boyfriend. How I, as her friend, engage with her boyfriend is a thing, like that.
Yeah.
That falls under the unwritten girl code rules. How I engage with her ex, that is a thing, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't even necessarily have to be a friend per se, but it could be, a girl that you're friendly with, or a girl that and it could even be, in some cases, a girl that you're not, that you don't even really know that well, just depending on the dynamics of the situation and what we're actually talking about. But in a nutshell, it's basically about your interactions with the opposite sex in relation to the other women in your vicinity.
Okay. So I agree. So with me, the girl code, I mean, it's an unwritten code. What's its purpose? Maybe to try and get us together. I don't know. But for me, it's like, someone, she says they weren't friends, but they were friendly. They knew each other. She went to the girl's house, met her there, had drinks, they had lunch. So they had a kiki. She met this guy through Phelan. So whether they were, tight buds or not, I still believe that some lines were crossed. Now, the thing is really, I guess the excuse here is, did she really, I guess, plan it? Everyone's like, okay, did she plan this? Was she in the girl's house, clocking, the girl goes the private jet, she's got a nice home, she's got all these things. Was she clocking it then? Or did they truly kind of start that relationship along the line? But I think the purpose of these rules is so we don't have this problem or this question. But this kind of leads me to a point where you ask yourself, you know what? If there is a girl code, when can girl code be broken? So, what do you think, Maria?
Oh, hold up. So what? Okay, so you're asking girl code question. What am I doing here now?
No, we're going to the guide code, sir. We're going to the guide code because I told you. Before, okay, you know what? You let's come in. So you're here because
No, I'm just playing.
guys.
I'm just playing. Go ahead. I'm just playing.
There are two. No. But since you've introduced yourself, Didi, I'm going to throw you up right now. There are two guys. One is her ex-fiance, and one is now her new fiance. These two guys in question. In fact, let me throw up a picture so we can see who we're talking about right now, because I think a lot of people may not be familiar with these people. But all right, so I'm going to throw this. So this picture I have here is of all three of the characters in question. We have Porsha in the middle. She looks all cozy. She's got her hands on homie's chest. Now, homie.
Lola, correction, his stomach. Sorry, I'm just saying.
What's so wrong, Didi?
So you see, but there are two guys in this picture, right? These two guys are friends. The dude in the yellow is her ex-fiance, and she has a daughter with this guy. She met them. They know each other, but they're both cheesing in this picture. So since you want to talk about guy code, we'll stop on girl code for a second. So Didi, you're here. What do you think? So what is guy code to you, first of all?
Well, it's basically the same thing as the women. Like, I mean, we have an understanding where we don't mess with our exes. I don't mess with my friend's exes, and he don't mess with my exes. But there is always an exception to the code. But we need to discuss it, because where it goes to the point where, let's say, if you want to date one of my exes and you don't run it by me, that's just for me. I'm talking about from my perspective.
Okay.
It's gonna pose a problem, because then I would see like my trust in you is not valid anymore, because that means you're doing stuff behind my back, and you probably want to be with my ex, and then you just go ahead and get it done. But for me, it's the same thing. Like, I mean, we have mutual respect for one another. I don't go after your exes. You don't go after my exes. I respect that. But then, like I say, you can also just have a small exception to it, that if you want to, you run it by me. If I tell you I don't like it, if I tell you go ahead, you go ahead. If I tell you I don't like it, then you have to respect my decision. But I've never been in a situation with what's going on with Porsha, Fallon, Simon, and Porsha's ex-fiance. Never been in a situation like that. And for me, if I was in a situation like that, there is no way I could do that. Like, there's no way I could trust the guy anymore.
So you're saying, so Dr. LBB, welcome. So you're saying if you gave your guy permission, you would be okay with him dealing with your ex. That's what you're saying?
Yes. Oh. Because look, there's a reason why she's an ex. You understand? So I know I know what I went through, and I know what he's gonna get. So if he feels he can deal with it or handle it, that situation of you want to date my ex, you want to be dating my ex, and you think he can do a better job with whatever reason I have for not being with my ex anymore, you can go ahead. I won't stop them. But if you just do it and I don't know, then it's a problem. But I just won't talk to him anymore.
Oh, so okay. So you give him permission, but you won't talk to him anymore. That's what you're saying.
No. If I give him permission, I'll talk to him. If he don't run it by me, I won't talk to him, because that means you're not to be trusted.
Okay. LBB, what's up? Kojo, welcome. We kind of went through the breakdown. I don't know if you heard our breakdown about how Porsha Williams is connected to Little Housewives of Atlanta. But the question here is, I've thrown up a picture of the three of them. Did you see that picture yet? The two guys, they're kind of tagging her on the end. And so we decided to quickly jump into Guy Code, because Didi won't be here alone, but now he's not alone. So the thing is, to you, what's Guy Code, and do you think Guy Code was broken?
Okay, let me put some context on it, because word on the street is they were like business partners or whatever. Right.
But they were close.
Yeah, like they were friends. They knew each other, business partners. And so she's like, one of them was her baby daddy, and then she started dating the other dude.
I'm really interested in what Kojo has to say. Let me know, because he seems like his tongue is tied. I want to him untie his tongue. Let me hear what he has to say.
Kojo, I got you, because earlier I already said it was a mausoleum.
It's a mausoleum. It is a mausoleum, as our sister said. I mean, to be honest, the Guy Code here is really dependent upon the weight of the relationship you have with that fellow male, right? Because that's what gives I guess weight to the code. Mm-hmm. Is that if I believe you to be a friend, this is why I don't like this word friend, because it gets used too loosely. I know you. You're my friend. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And so I think in that particular case, baby daddy, business partner, it's techie dependent on how close the man believes, or the baby father believes he is to that man. I mean, it's touchy in that area. Me personally, it depends how much information I have shared with you. Because if I've shared the depths of how me and, baby mother have been going through some certain stuff, and then you go and wife it, I'm gonna look at you like, bro, what do you think I've been telling you this for? I've considered you a safe, confidant, and space. Okay. That's why I'm giving you this information. And then you go and then date the girl. It's going to look a little bit some way. And you might have already had plans already before you met me, maybe, or when the first time you saw her and didn't realize it was my ex thing. But still, it's like, you've allowed me to go too far when you should have stopped me from the jump and said, hey, bro, look, appreciate the fact you're sharing this information. I'm not going to lie to you, bro. I mean, I think she's a cutie. I might be thinking about going there, bro. So just to let you know ahead of time. And that would have made me think, okay, I might not share that information with you, because I don't want to hamper what you're on. Do you know what I'm saying? And you have no loyalty to me. So I really do believe it depends on the weight of the relationship you have with that male. That will give it that bro code. Because I've had a similar situation where I used to play football with a guy.
Yeah.
And his ex-girl, bro, let me tell you something. I was on a freaky thing. So, me and the girl connected. And he was vexed at me. And I was like, why are you vexed at me, bro? I don't know you like that. Boy. Oh, before Jesus, guys. BC.
Just bad boy in that case.
Just bad boy in that case. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, I was trying to let him know, like, bro, you may see me as a friend, but I don't think you actually see me as a friend. I think what you're doing is you're blocking me because you don't want anyone to go near this girl like who you can see. And I'm like, I don't know you like that. I don't share my intimate things with you. I don't have you in my circle. I just know you from football. You know what I'm saying? So if you're getting vexed about it, I'm like, you're getting vexed about it. I'm not vexed about it because I don't see you as a friend. Do you understand? I see you as an acquaintance or a baller that I play football with. That's your function. Don't come out of it. Don't get angry. Don't get vexed. I don't see you like that. So if you don't want to see me as a bro after that, I never saw you in the bro as the first place. So there's no beef.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Coach.
So this is how the boys feel about it. I have some more guys coming on. But I want to really run back to the girls. Ladies, do you feel the same way? Imagine your girls. Yeah, I mean, you may not be best pals, but this is your good friend, your good Judy. You guys probably meet up in the club. Not now, but back then. Let's say you met up in the club. And there's a guy you were dating. You guys were close, maybe even engaged, but there was a broken engagement. Would you be okay with your girl all of a sudden out in the club with him the following week after you guys broke up? With permission or no permission? Would you? I don't know if I feel the same way. What do you think, Adjoa?
So I've actually been in a situation like this.
So
I met this was maybe like 3 years ago. I met this guy, and the first thing he said, and he was Ghanaian, and the first thing he said my name. And so when he said my name, I turned around, I looked at him, I'm thinking, oh, it must be someone from college. So I kind of got excited because I'm like, okay, at least this is someone who knows me. So he got my number, we talked, and I was like, wait, how do you know me? And so he started telling the story, and he's like, oh, remember so-and-so? And I was like, wait, hold on. You're so-and-so's man? He's like, no, I'm nobody's man. I'm nobody's man. I'm like, no, hold on. And this is a close friend of mine. So let me make up names, right?
Okay.
Let me say her name is Julie and his name is Martin. So I'm like, wait, you're Martin's Julie? You're Julie's Martin? He's like, I'm nobody's Martin. I'm my own person. I'm like, no, hold on. This is a girlfriend of mine. And they actually have a baby. They had a child together. And this is a girl who I cherish and love dearly. Mm-hmm. So I go and I'm like, no, I have to call this girl and let her know. So I call her and she goes, what? I'm so excited. Now my daughter's going to have a stepmom who I know. What? No, who does that? No one does that. Nobody. So at the end of the day, long story short, no, I was not interested. I did not pursue. He tried to pursue. She tried to persuade me a little bit. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. It's just a matter of integrity. It's a matter of integrity and loyalty first, but integrity second. When you have integrity to understand that, listen, there are many, many men out there. I don't need to take a friend of mine's man. I don't need to take an acquaintance's man. I don't need to take, because the thing about it is, if you've seen these two people together, it may be that you have been eyeing this girl with this man.
Exactly, yes.
There is something very sneaky about that and very unsettling. And for me, no, there's nothing that is worth breaking girl code. No.
I kind of share that. Like, I don't. That sounds kind of strange. The guys seem to have a different thing. Like, if you get permission, if you kiss the ring, then fine, you can date my girl. But I still think it makes it a little bit messy. I don't know if maybe girls are different. So I have some new people on the stream. Welcome, Anu, individual. Kia, welcome, guys. So let me throw it to Anu. This guy code thing. Someone's with your girl. An ex-girl. I don't know whether she gets permission or no permission. How do you feel about that?
Again, it depends. Like, you're still going to be hurt. The only way the situation will go smoothly if I give permission. Like, if I have a male friend and they want to get with one of my exes, unless I approve that with my friend, quote unquote friend, there's a boundary right there. For that guy to overstep that boundary without me knowing, that's a major flag right there. Like, honestly, I don't see any recovery from that. only you can.
Kia, welcome. I have a question for you. You're a girl. How do you feel about this girl code? Do you believe in girl code?
Absolutely. It's just certain things that you just don't do. And so just to kind of elaborate off of the non-boy code or guy code. So I have a situation like with a neighbor. So the neighbor, we may not be friends, but I speak to you when I take my trash out. I speak to you when you're barbecuing or whatever. So if your man was to say, hey, what's up, after he break up with you, I'm saying no. So we may not be friends. It's just certain things that you just don't. I feel like you shouldn't cross. And so I think there should, like as I said earlier, an unwritten rule. And I just don't like drama. So I just be like, look, it's enough people out in the world, and maybe it might be scarce, but I don't want to cross those lines just for the fact that it just seems like it's going to be drama with those unwritten rules. I mean, yeah, and that's just my point.
Okay, so I think the girls and the guys have two different things. So I'll put this to the girls. So we agree there's girl code, and a girl code, I guess, in relation to relationships, where if this is someone's man, that's kind of sticky ground. But there's situations, this is not new. This Porsha Williams thing is not new. Nothing is new under the sun. This happens all the time. So in what situation do you think, let's talk about girl code, when should it be broken? Like, what are the grounds for, girl code being broken?
I feel like the grounds for it to be broken is, like many people have said, like with permission. And then also, if y'all are not, like, I guess if y'all are legit enemies, like not friends anymore, then maybe, but even then, like, it's too petty. Like, it's like you're so pressed, to like get back at this person. But see, the weird and tricky part about Porsha's thing is that she's in a catch-22 or 44, however you want to call it, because she broke both girl code and guy code at the same time. And like literally, like when it comes to the guy code thing, I've been in a situation where a guy that I used to talk to or used to date or whatever, his friend tried to holler at me, right? And I had to tell dude, like I had to help the dude not break the guy code, and like tell him like that wouldn't work because I literally used to talk to your friend. So why would you think? And he tried to convince me like, oh no, it's cool. It wouldn't be an issue. It wouldn't be a problem. And I'm just like, but it would be a problem for me. Like, you know what I mean? Like I wouldn't be able to feel good about myself because I would just feel like a weird situation is happening here, And then y'all would probably turn around and run my name through the mud trying to say I'm loving the crew or whatever the case, It's just not a good situation. And then I've had situations where I've had a female friend who, there was an ex there that I actually literally did not care about. I literally did not care. And I was like, girl, go for it because I just don't care. And so I feel like that can happen and it's possible. And I think in those instances, it's up to those two people at the end of the day. And me and her, we're still cool. Like, because I literally did not care, and that can happen too.
Okay, I hear you. Adjero, what do you feel? Do you feel like girl code can be broken, or when are the circumstances when you should break the code or you can break the code?
See, girl code for me is not even about the other person. Girl code is about me. It's about me. It's about my integrity. It's about my character. It's about my loyalty to you. Girl code, in my opinion, can never be broken. I will never break girl code. There's no amount of anything that will make me break it, period. There are enough men. There are enough men out here for me to be with another one of my girlfriend's men. For what? Why? No. So there's no reason at all that I would break. And in this situation, she gave me permission. And I know her. Like, this is not just someone who is just like a friend. This is one of my really close girlfriends. And she was ecstatic that her daughter will have me as a stepmother. stuff is weird. Weird. And he was packing, y'all. Whoo, child.
What was he packing? What was he packing?
He was packing.
Wait. Hard left.
But I didn't
Hard
touch it.
left.
You could see it in the pants. I'm telling y'all. That was another reason. Because now I'm like, wait, hold on. And sleeping next to that? And you want me? It goes
You must have gone there.
When I see you, I was thinking, like, girl, you know I know. Like, girl, you know I know. Listen, it's one of those that you see in the pants. I swear. It's one of you see it through the pants. Like,
where's your eyes that you're looking through the pants? That's what you're telling me. Where are your eyes looking at the pants?
No, Coach Joe. It's just like it's so unnatural that you just wonder, like, what is that? You're like, what is that, and why is it like? What is it?
Yeah. I think I'm at loss for words. Like, you noticed the package.
It really was. It was just one of those really just out of this world. Like, why is that there? Like, why is there a bulge that size close to your thigh? Like,
he knew what he was doing.
Why is it there?
That's why he did it. He did it because of that.
It was there. I don't know what he was doing, but
brilliant play by the guy.
This is unnatural, and yeah, I had to let it go.
And I guess it didn't work because that didn't entice you.
No, absolutely. There's nothing, and that's my point. There's absolutely nothing that will entice me. And that in itself is not even enticing, because sex is spiritual, not necessarily that kind of the hardware. So I mean, three under three, maybe like under three, we might have to pray, but like really, it's not usually the hardware. So.
I mean, but yeah, it's hot in these streets. It's hot out in these streets.
I heard someone saying keep hydrated, so I think it is super hot in the streets.
So it didn't impress you. It didn't impress you at all.
For what? Why would that impress me? The character of the man would impress me, not the package.
Okay.
I mean, you saw it and you was like, why was the package that large?
I did. Because it was like super abnormal, but it still was not impressive.
Guys, this is the same girl that would date Jacob after hearing Haley's review.
That's my Buddha. Listen, as long as it's not under 3, it's workable. And let's go here, since you went here, Maria. Okay, Haley probably didn't know what she was doing, because listen, you can't wait for a man to please you. You take what you need.
Yeah.
You don't lay there and wait for him. Like, as long as you don't have a problem erecting, let's go. I can please. I gotta do.
This is RHOA After Dark, everyone. You know.
No, I think I just found the first candidate for my show, Didi After
Dark. Right.
Because we need to, as long as it's above 3. Okay, we need to talk about that.
Above 3, we can work with it.
You talking about FREE or THREE? Which one?
Didi, you're a mess.
He is encouraging this.
There are 2 types of 3. There's the number and he's giving it to you free. So I want to know which one, if you're talking about the free one he's giving or the inches. I'm just, that's all.
Yeah, 3. THREE. I'm sure that's workable.
Okay, all right. So
I am abstaining though. So I mean, I was just saying, I'm just putting it out there. So.
Good shout. Love that.
Okay, so thank you. Very nice. So Kia, when do you think girl code can be broken?
I'm with Edge. I don't need those type of problems. So I'm just like, based on me, I'm not breaking it. Like I said, whether it was 10 years down the line, the girl code you just don't date your friends or your cousin or anybody. That's just me. And to me, it's another thing because I'm protective of others. So if she's sitting there hurting, you don't know what extent that person would happen in a relationship. So now I'm bringing him to the barbecue or the picnic. So I'm not going to cause you that unnecessary stress. Because when I broke up with my ex, I was like, y'all better not invite him to the barbecue, to the picnic. And it wasn't even like another sexual relationship. So, I think it just causes too much confusion. So I don't want to do that to the other person also by just, throwing it up her face. Social media is so, real. And then she's looking at me and her ex on pictures like, oh, he never took me to Hawaii. It's just too much. I don't want to do that to anyone.
Let me be honest. Have I broken girl code? It's happened one time in my lifetime, maybe twice. And the situation, I think it's, you know what, girl code to me is almost, I won't say it's a figment of one's, it's just something we create. It's something fictional that we go by. So it's a personal code. It's not necessarily a code that someone puts on you. And I think in situations like this, when somebody has tried to, you know, there might be a relationship and there's somebody I might find interesting. If you think this is something that's real, something that's going to mean something to you, then by all means, you know what, jump in, you know, head first. And I've done that. Did I regret it? Not necessarily. But would I want to do it again? It can get sticky and it can get messy. Of course, I'm not on a TV show, so I wasn't all, you know, put all over the posters. I wasn't through all the blogs. But I think the one time where I would say that a woman will do it, because at the end of the day, I feel like as human beings, the ultimate thing is self. We can say all these kind of things. I love my girl. I love this. But ultimately, we operate on, you know, satisfying self at the end of the day. So if there's something, a point where you feel like this is something important, maybe this is not your sister's man or something else, then I can see how that girl code can be broken. And once or twice, you'll see people have a happy ending. But at the same time, for me, in this situation, when I look at Porsha's situation, it looked almost like, I won't call her names, but it looked like a money grab for me. And so that's why I think we're all kind of having this opinion as to, you know, why did she do this or how did she do this? But going back to the guys. So now we've heard about the girls. Guys, I know you guys always say, you know, blah, 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 if I get my permission. But let's say you don't get permission. When is it okay to break guy code? You know, guys, jump in first. No hurry.
When you're not friends.
Oh.
Just when you're not friends. For me, the situation with Porsha's ex and her new guy or whatever, to me, they were never really friends. They understand that there's money in the show. They understand that there could be a storyline with this. To me, it seemed like they had to have had a conversation, or they at least have a mutual understanding at the very least that, like, okay, we're cool, we can do business with one another, but we just, if you want to take my ex-wife, I don't really care, because now there's a bag involved and I don't want to be in a relationship with her. I'm fully removed from that situation. So that, to me, that's the mindset of the ex, that like he just doesn't value Porsha in a romantic manner anymore. To me, the fact that he can remain in this situation with a seemingly cool head shows that he's not bothered by anything. And if he's in that position, then it's like anything, by any means, like do whatever you got to do. And I can get money out of it. Okay, sure. Right? Like, to me, they were really that close friends. Now, if she did with his best friend, that's a totally different story. She did it with his brother, that's a totally different story, right? Because there's more emotional investment in those situations. So it doesn't matter who gets permission or not in this case, because they were never really that close. There's no contract. There's no relational contract. There's no emotional contract. It's just like, okay, I don't care. Like, I'm onto somebody new. That's most likely the case, in my opinion. Either he's focused on something else or he's focused on someone else, so much so that this is a non-factor.
Okay. But you know what, Kojo, I have a question for you. If you want to step to the mic, sir. So yeah, 2 questions. 1, in your opinion, when do you think it's okay to break guy code? And then 2, I always had the impression, particularly with males, that if this woman has had a child for you, you feel some sort of ownership. And so don't you feel some kind of way if a boy, he may not be your best buddy, but someone you know, someone you're going to continue to see, all of a sudden they pair up, would you be affected by seeing them every day?
When can you break guy code?
Yes, sir.
I mean, you can break it whenever you want. But when should you?
Yes.
To be honest, I think as David put it, you know what, brothers and best friends, doing that is like you are asking for fire in the bosom. I'm sure there's a scripture somewhere in Proverbs, but I can't remember it. That it's, you just don't want to be doing that, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, because that leads to death, man, and a quick death at that. Do you know what I mean? If you don't die emotionally, you're gonna die physically, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a no. And it's just because how, especially for us men, how loyalty works for us is like, there are things that we just like, you see how women sometimes are arguing that men band together, right? Oh, you men, as soon as you get into a herd mentality, they don't hear anything else. Yeah, that's it. So if you break that, you are ostracized from the camp after that, because like the way us men see loyalty is that there are certain things you just don't do. And dating your best friend's girl, dating your brother's girl or whatever, albeit an ex, it's touch and go. I mean, we saw this in UK actually. There was a footballer who stole his brother's girl. And listen, and he was a famous footballer, not like he played for a big ass team and he stole his brother's girl. And actually, we've seen it a few times in football, like a couple of footballers who've stolen someone's girl and married the person. And let me tell you something, that relationship ain't the same again ever, because it's a level of betrayal that cuts so deep that you can't look at that person the same way ever again. But that's somebody who you're actively being with. An ex, it depends how deep you were with that ex. Depends how deep you are with the ex. Some man them are a bit possessive, so there's some way. But
yeah,
for those who are normal, all right, those who are not as possessive, right, who leave the girl and get on with the rest of their life, like, I think after a few years, you might be like, bro, I don't think you should go there. But if you go there, I'm not going to die, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you go there, I'm not going to die in it. Do you know what I'm saying? But I'm going to be honest with you, in the back of my mind, I'm like, you can't do it like I did it. Just say it.
Oh, really?
You can't do it like I did it. Do you know what I'm saying? And in the back of my head, I'm going to have that in the back of my head. I'm petty like that. I'm going to be like, because I'm like, why did you have to go for that girl, bro? Like, yo, especially for us men, when there's a bountiful, I know the women were saying this, but us men, there's so many gal in the sea. Sorry, I shouldn't say gal. Someone said I shouldn't say. There's so many women in the sea. Okay, I've been getting shot on the comment section for saying gal. There's so many women in the sea, right? So it's like, bro, why did you? If you didn't know, and it's like a story where you didn't know each other, and we were friends after I had dated this girl, I think it's slightly different. You might make a little bit more concession. But you know me, you've known me, you've heard me talk about her, and then you go and date her. Then I have to look at you that if you can date my woman, you can steal my money, you can kill me. That's how I have to look at you. That's how I have to look at you. You are now a dangerous person in my sight. You understand? Yeah. So don't ever play with them. Don't play with our woman, our money, and family. Those three things are off limits. Don't ever play with that. Ask the man if they'll let someone else date their sister. They probably won't. But anyway, that's another thing. Now, your second question was whether, obviously, if you had a child with a woman, and then one of your guys then wants to date her. Yeah. Let me be very honest with you guys, okay?
Yes, please be.
Because I have a existing situation ongoing. Exactly. Forevermore with that woman. It is going to be very hard for me to accept that you want to come into the picture, because we have something that ties us together. Exactly. Okay, which is my child, which is ongoing. Now, it's not about the woman per se. It is about an entitlement. It is about a possessiveness, and it is about territory. I'm going to be very honest with you, those things, right? Mm-hmm, exactly. And so, because I have to go there, and I have to see maybe the baby mother, or I have to interact with my child, and I now know you are now dating her, I'm not feeling that. If I'm close to you, I'm not feeling that. You're now too close. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you're part of the family, but you weren't supposed to be that close. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it would be an absolute no-go if you're actually my friend and willing to date that person. So yeah, for me, it would be a no-go. And I pass the baton to Onu.
Okay, Onu, please go ahead. I'm listening.
I mean, I just want to chime in. Like, I believe the culture 100%. I think bro code comes down to respect and loyalty. No matter how much you want to spin this situation between Fallon and Porsha, there's no respect or loyalty between them. If the only way to make that respectable is to go to that person and tell them exactly what you want to do before you do it. You don't find about this on the news, on Instagram, or anything. And to me, with guy code, it's almost like a brotherhood. It's almost like a cult. Like, you know what not to do. There's no way for you to be respected after that. And if you have other people that go around your same crew, there's no way anyone's gonna be able to look at you and respect the move when you go after after one of your man's girls. Like, again, there are rules to this, or unwritten rules or understandings, to get to this level, there's no for you to break the guy code or code of ethics. You don't respect that person as individual. There's no loyalty, and again, you're pretty much want to be disowned or not be a part of that person's life moving forward. There's no coming back from this. Mm-hmm. But when you flip this situation, when we flip this situation about women, again, sometimes y'all might be friends, but is there respect and loyalty around both parties? When there is, then again, I feel like you can have this type of understanding. But when there's not, things like this happen. So again, we need to come down to say, like, again, I guess guys understand what it is to be in a code, but do women understand that?
Excuse me. Do we understand that? You know what, Kia? Hold on a second. I want to hear your story, but I want to bring in Natalie because he's asking us if women understand the code. Natalie, welcome.
Before you go to Natalie, no. Before you go to Natalie, can I just say something? Because someone just said something. Listen.
Whatever.
If you were to do this, yeah. Maybe I'm petty. I have to one up this guy. I have to be better than this guy. There's no way I can't, because this is going to be the talk of the boys forever. You understand? Like you're taking heat forever. So this has to be worth it. You have to be the don of the dons if you're going to do this. Otherwise, you're going to be talked about like a mug for the rest of your life, and that for us men is detrimental to reputation. So unless you're the top of the don of the don, yeah, if you go and date her and she had better than you and that boy was better than you, you are asking for you to have a noose around your neck and it to be strung around you and be hung every single day, because the boys are going to laugh at you behind your back. Just saying.
All right, Natalie, since we'll come back to you, Kojo, because I want to touch on that, but let me have Natalie just jump in and tell us, since they think that we don't understand what code is. What do you feel about code? Natalie, welcome.
Hi, thanks. So we're talking about, we don't know about what bro code is?
So we were talking, no, that's true. Please explain. Are you saying we don't know what guy code is, or we don't know what girl code is, or we don't know what code is because our brains are too small? What were you saying, sir? Can you can you tell us what you're saying, Anu? Like, I'm just wondering.
Hold up pictures so we can understand what you're saying. You have
Please,
pictures?
we want to know.
Why are you scared? Like, you didn't even put your mic on. Like, you scared? Just say it with your chest, sir. Tell us.
Okay, like, I don't understand how someone that I'm friends with or someone I consider to me maybe not be blood or close enough to me that's going to go behind my back and establish a sexual type relationship with me not knowing. It'll be one thing if I knew the situation before it happened, but the fact that there's seeds or things happening behind the scenes I didn't know about until an actual relationship blossomed, to me, it's like, okay, what's going on here? Like, if we're close, we're friends, we talk on a day-to-day basis or a regular basis, things like that shouldn't happen or pop up. So tell me exactly when this situation actually started. Because if we're crossing paths, again, you're lying to me in my face. I thought we're cool, but we're not. And again, to me, it's like what we're talking about after the fact. We're talking about actual engagement. We're not talking about someone dating, someone kicking it. It's like the pie is almost fully baked here. So again, when did it start? And when was this at what line did things actually cross to be from an okay situation to get uncomfortable? Because again, this doesn't happen in 3 days.
Okay. Yeah.
So back to the bro code, girl code thing.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now the bro code, and I know that you guys feel you have some camaraderie that's just so strong, but there have been several guys that I know of that are like the good guy and their friend is like the F boy. And that's the friend who's like talking to you like, I know it's gonna be okay. He means well, and then you're like, damn, I should have dated you because you're not like your friend, but he'll come in like, or he might be the same guy that come to you and tell you, hey, look, leave him alone. That's, you're better than that. So that bro code that y'all think y'all have is as strong as wet toilet paper. It is not super, it's not Teflon. Like, I think that sometimes and not all guys, some guys are out for themselves in the day. And if they find out there's a way in, and that's your boy, but if he can get in, then I think that some guys will take advantage of it and slide right in. What they call
That's
him?
What I'm saying.
Yeah, lame Lance will slide right in.
I'm just saying, like, these guys talking about code, all this code, that, like, they think with Lil Junior a lot of the time. And that's what happened. But that's how I feel. Yeah, that's how. You know what? So thank you very much. You know, Maria, you said you had a question for the guys.
Let me say something real quick.
Okay, please. What's up, Didi?
Natalie.
Hi,
I think
Didi.
you should. I think you should use another analogy for other than wet toilet paper.
Oh Jesus! Don't
because
do
when
it.
you take hold on. When you take wet toilet paper and you send it on the wall, what does it do? It sticks.
It sticks.
Exactly. So if the guy is loyal to me, he's like wet toilet paper, so he sticks to me. Just
okay,
yes, but I didn't say throw it. If you have wet toilet paper, okay, so listen, you're hanging out the window for your life. And I'm like, here, grab the other end of this toilet paper, and it starts raining. What's gonna happen to you, sir?
No, well, now you explain that. Right? Well, you break it down, so I understand now. But it can go both ways. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm just playing a little devil's advocate. It can go both ways. You can stick to me, or you can hold on to it, and it can let go. So I'm just saying.
That's why I love you, Didi. That's why I love you.
That's why I love you too.
Y'all are too funny. I just got too much imagery with the wet toilet paper that I didn't need to have. But anyways, now we actually kind of touched on the question I was going to ask about, like, how strong do y'all really think y'all be sticking to the boy code? And you know, if y'all feel like you do stick so strongly to the guy code, because I hear, you know, the whole saying bros before hoes, you know, all this and all that, why is it then that you put so much weight on loyalty to the guys than you do to your actual girlfriend that you're in a relationship with? Because a lot of guys that be sticking to guy code be out here cheating on their girls, and I don't be understanding that.
All day. Which one of the guys want to take
on
it?
That.
Yeah. Who has big chest? Like, talk about it. Oh, I saw the mics are still muted. Like who oh,
no,
really?
What's the question? I didn't hear too well. What question did you ask?
Repeat the question.
Silent night. Okay, let me run that back.
All right. Run back.
So it was, you know, how strongly do y'all really be sticking to the guy code, right? And if y'all do stick to the guy code, why is it that a lot of the guys who, you know, be saying bros before hoes and, you know, all this type of stuff, why are you way more concerned with being loyal to your guys than you are with being loyal to the actual girl that you're in a relationship with? Because a lot of them dudes be cheating on their girlfriends.
Look, I just mind my business. That's my answer to that. I mind my business. Look, whatever happens in the dark will come out in the light. Because one time I can tell you, a cousin of mine, her boyfriend was cheating on her. And I told her that. You know what she did? She went to the guy and told the guy, I said that, and then the guy came after me, telling me, oh, why did I go to my cousin and say this and that? And she came after me and tell me, like, why did I do that? I trying to mess up her relationship. So sometimes that's why I say accountability. Some women need to be held accountable for their actions. So from that experience with me, I mind my business. That's all I do. If somebody else, maybe one of her female friends might go tell her, but I just mind my business. I'm not saying it's right, but I just don't want to be involved in any drama, any mess. The only way I'll say to somebody is if that's why I tell Kojo made a very, very valid point. That we have acquaintances and we have friends. So my brotherhood for me would be my closest friend, right? Or maybe my closest, like if my female friends, if we're really close. But then I will still be cautious how I tread with telling a female than a male, because a guy will be more understanding. Sometimes the females, they don't understand because I think they're probably blinded by love or whatever they're blinded by from within the guy. It's kind of difficult to tell them. But acquaintances, I don't care about acquaintances. But if you're my closest friend, like my female friend, I would tell it to you. And then you take it from there. But any acquaintances, I just mind my business.
Okay. So because I know most guys like to keep quiet and I know keep it a secret, but I hear you. You're one of the good guys, Didi, or at least you're telling us you're one of the good guys. It might be different. Now we know.
Answer my question though.
No, he don't have. Would you have an answer for the question? He don't. He does he?
He didn't answer the question, but we'll move on.
No, but you
don't want to break guy code by answering the question.
Boom.
No, you said like why do you say,
don't let him do you like that, Diddy. Don't let him do you like that. Answer the question, bro.
I'm just
She said,
saying, like,
why do we say bros before hoes and we don't tell, like we will not tell a girl like the guy is cheating or whatever, right?
I mean, no, I'm saying like, why did that guys put so much more value on keeping guy code and like being loyal to their guys than they are their actual girlfriends that they're in a relationship with?
Well, we keep look, like I say, well, like David said, not David, Anu said, brotherhood. That's what it is. So I don't want to see my brother down and out. I don't want to see him get hurt. So, but the only person I'll stick loyal to, like if I'm in a relationship, let's say my girlfriend, I'm loyal to my girlfriend and I'm also loyal to my brother. That's how I would answer that. So because he's my brother, I will tell him or I will stick to his code. Like if he's doing something which is wrong, all I do, I caution him. And then if you see he's not listening, I stay away from him because I do not want to get caught up in when he get caught that I get blamed. That's just me. I am different. I'll caution you. If you see you not listening, I stay away from you. That's all I do because then I don't want it to, the toxicness to get to me. And I have to be the one trying to explain to your girlfriend, your wife or your fiance why you were cheating or why you were doing this, why you were doing that. But I will caution you. And then if I can't take anymore, I stay away. That's what I do.
Can I ask a quick question, Lola? Uh-oh, the volume went out. Where's my volume?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Okay, so this is for all the guys, and you guys all must answer it, and it could be, it's a short answer. If your best guy friend and the girl that you are madly in love with, like this chick is better than any other girl you ever been with, like she's just the best, they sleep together.
Ooh.
Do you remain friends
Ooh.
with the guy? Or who do you cut off and who do you keep?
Ooh. Don't answer in a hurry, okay? Okay, go ahead, sir.
First, I'll try to tackle Maria's question really quickly, and then I'll go to Natalie.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so me, the mindset of a guy who's more loyal to his guys than girls is because, in my head, the best way to frame that type of mindset is a guy who's seen so many different women being passed around. And he's been part of different trains or whatever. So women come a dime a dozen every day. Whereas the boys, they've been with you in the trenches, or you think that they're loyal to you because of the experiences that you've shared together. You've seen them be down for you. You've seen them pick you up. You've seen them be in different situations with you. And therefore, you understand your relationship with them to be tight. Like, they're loyal, whereas women, y'all pick women up every single day. To me, that's the mind frame of someone who has that, right? So, like, women are more disposable, whereas the guys who have been with me, they're there for life. Now, for Natalie's question, hold on, I'm trying to remember it.
Like you got the situation about the girl, they sleep together. That's a bad girl, and that's your homie. Like, what happened after that?
I'm thinking about the situation in my case right now. I'm getting rid of both of them because one, the guy is not as loyal as I thought he was. He's been a snake from the very beginning. He's always been eyeing my lady since from the very jump, and I can't even begin to trust the woman I was with anymore, and therefore I can't be madly in love with her because she's broken my trust. Both of them have broken my trust. They've broken my loyalty in every type of sense of the word. It's better for me to just be alone. I can't choose between the two, right? So that's it.
I agree with David. I'll get rid of both.
Oh, that's it?
What happened to guy code? I thought y'all were like comrades.
Yeah.
Loyal to the trenches together. Weren't y'all in the trenches like 10 minutes ago?
That works.
What happened to the trenches?
It has to be mutual, right? Like, if it's not mutual, then it doesn't work.
Natalie, with time, it will heal. So but then if it heals, I won't look like I just won't have that relationship we had before, basically. But at the moment, if it's fresh, I'll get rid of both.
What if this is your wife? What if this is your wife? This is your wife, like, just you love her, and this is like, what then?
How would I would not get rid of my wife. I'll try to work it out.
Okay, boom. Okay.
Look at these men's faces. It looks like someone's dying because their faces. They look like.
I'm sorry, personally, I couldn't. I'm not sure if I could continue that marriage. I'm honestly not sure. Of course, it's different.
Women live this every day. That's kind of funny.
Yeah,
like, I see you like looking funny, but this is a woman's life at one point or another. This situation you've described.
And I don't think she should stay in that marriage if that's the case. I think it works both ways, right? There is a violation, and I think even biblically, it's okay for you to leave that marriage. If that's the case, and you feel that betrayed to the point where like you can barely even function, then it's probably best for you to leave that marriage, because sure, you can try and continue it, but it'll never be the same. You have to start fresh. You have to go back to the foundation. That's the only way that I could probably see, myself going back to that marriage. But even then, just like all the work that we've already put in, how much I've already shown her, I think that works both ways.
I agree, but then like here's where the whole male privilege of it all comes into play. Like, agreed, like theoretically, both should leave a cheating relationship, right? But the way it actually plays out in society is that women are conditioned to forgive the man for cheating way more than the men are conditioned to forgive the woman. And so you see situations like the whole Derek Jackson situation, right? Where he has his wife by his side, while he's spewing out all of this madness on the internet, okay, in a bonnet looking crazy, forgiving him and taking him back. When if it was the other way around, I don't think that she would be sitting there with Derek Jackson by her side talking about, yeah, I cheated on him with multiple different men, but you know what? He's standing by my side and holding me down through the whole thing. We're not going to see it. We're not going to see it.
Don't you think it's changing though? Huh? Like, don't you think these days more women are starting to take more agency for themselves, and they're starting to be like, okay, I'm not going to stand for it. Of course, traditionally it hasn't been like that. But I'm saying in modern times, do you see a shift?
I'm hoping that it is, but I've seen far too many examples of the quite opposite of that. Like, I mean, even in my own life, not even just in celebrity culture, like women are going for the okie doke every single time.
Every single time. That's it. Every single time. Kojo, you're looking kind of quiet. What's going on with you, sir?
I'll go after Onu. Onu, go for it. He's an honorable guest who says he wants to talk first. Onu, deliver the goods, sir. Deliver the goods.
Resident smoke artist.
Hold up. We haven't heard from Kia, because Kia wanted to say something, and
I'm gonna hear all the guys out.
That's how you get shot, DD. That's how you get shot. Who told you to say anything? Why did you switch it? It's the men talking. Diddy, don't do that, bro. Code. Don't be doing that.
What happened to Black Lives Matter, Didi?
I haven't forgotten about you, Kia, but I really wanted to hear this question. Once we finish this issue or this topic, we're definitely going straight to Kia. So, guys, this is on you. Like, give us the answers. Not clean-cut answers. I don't want to walk around in the bush. I don't want to walk around roses. I just want you to tell me what's what, and then we can. And Kojo, we're coming for you. I guess you want to stay to the last. That's fine. All right.
Okay, so I just want to chime in the last two responses. Like, hopefully I can tie it together real quickly. I think what it boils down to loyalty between men and men and women are two entirely different things. And we're trying to like equate them together, and like you really can't. Like with guys, especially guys who've been together for, let's say 10, 12, like a long time. It gets to a point where you guys can communicate without speaking to each other. It's almost like when you play sports and you know exactly how someone's going to make a basketball move or make a football play. And you don't have to communicate that thing to them. Whereas when we look at women relationships, it's based on communication, understanding, talking things out. Like good guy friends don't have to talk everything out, but they know how to express the important things as you go through. So when you're trying to equate the two, sometimes it doesn't really match. So when it gets to like Natalie's point, let's assume like my best friend was asleep with my ex. Like, I will be angry at both of them, but how I would attack the situation be very differently. I might not have to say anything to my best friend. I might be able to look at him, and by that look, he's going to understand, like, how disappointed I am. And then our friendship is actually broken, unrepairable. But with my ex or wife, we're going to have a pretty much a conversation. We're going to go to therapy. We're going to have like the next 6 months. It's going to be us yelling at each other. There's no way we're going to be able to amicably walk away and not speak about this ever again. The woman is not going to allow. I don't see a woman that's going to allow you to do that. Whereas a guy, I would not have to say a word. I can just look at him through his soul, and he knows exactly the crimes he committed. And to me, that's the difference.
Thank you very much, sir. Kojo, you ready now, sir? You got your lines together?
Thank you very much, Onu. Thank you for that.
Stay hydrated. It's hot.
It's hot in these streets.
The streets
It's
are
hot in
hot.
the streets.
I'm putting the pressure on the man them today. Like it.
You got the mineral.
I'm trying to, bro. I'm trying to. Yeah, no. To Maria's question. I mean, the first question and then the second question. You know, men are. Listen, I'll tell you. Obviously, I've been in situations with the man them, and the man them will ask me to lie about where they are, and I'm not gonna lie to you, cuz I've lied. Yeah, stone cold lied, straight lie.
Of course.
Because us man them, we, like I said, like we talk about love, right? And one of them, I can't remember what the word is in Greek for friendship, but it's like us man them have is it philo? Okay, that kind of love, right? It's built upon experiences. Right, we have the same attitudes and values and experiences. We go through trenches. It's like if you ever seen somebody who's in the army with another person in the army, that's your blood in and blood out. Like you don't leave that friendship, you know, except that you're dead. You know what I mean? And the same thing happens with men. Like we don't go to war necessarily, but we have the same kind of link with another man if that's actually your friend. So my loyalty to him is actually, I don't want to say it's greater than it's your girl, but there is an aspect which is that this is my lifelong friend. If you are my wife, even or my girlfriend, you could leave tomorrow. You could. Technically, I could mess up and you could be gone. But with my boy, I mean, aside obviously doing something absolute crazy or mad, which is not in your scope of mindset, he's always going to be there. The time when you divorce me or I divorce you, he's there. The time when I cheat on you and I didn't cheat on you, by the grace of God, I didn't cheat on you, he's there. You know what I'm saying? Like he's there through every single thing. You're not a guarantee. So I cannot put the same emphasis of weight as I have for my boy than I have for you. It's almost like when we talk the joke about how man them are loyal to their barbers. Yes, we are. Because that fade, if it's messed up, bro, no girl's looking at you. You understand? Right? So we understand our loyalty is to our boys because they are always going to be there. The longevity of it all. So that's why, Maria. That's why I would say that, right? It's not fair, but that's the man them for you. In regards to Nat's conversation in terms of who's getting deaded, everybody's getting deaded. I'm sorry, the wife's getting deaded, the friend's getting deaded, everybody's getting deaded. There's no one can stay alive. I'm getting deaded after this, Romeo and Juliet, because like honestly, there is nowhere else to go. Like the love of my life, yeah, is now slept with my best friend who I loved and trusted. I don't know how I can go forward and see anything else after that. But let's say I have to choose one. Someone's got to go, right? Well, if it's my wife, then I might try and work it out with the wife, and the boy's got to go. And the reason why is because the man them should have just, that's one violation that you can never, like with the wife, you can forgive in that aspect, and if you want, they made a mistake, we can go counsel for, we can go therapy, There is no therapy for us goons together. You did that. It's the equivalent of us being in the trenches, bullets are flying, and then you turn around and say, bro, here's my gun, I'm going to shoot you now. Are you mad? There's no trust after that. I can't trust you again. Treason is the word. I can't trust you again. So you got to be gone. You understand? So I think with these situations, the man them, I think we keep it really simple. Do you know what I'm saying? I think we do keep it quite simple. We're loyal to a fault. And I'm just gonna say this, ladies. If you are gonna ask, your man's best friend where he is, you ain't gonna get an honest answer, an honest truth. If he's a true friend to your boy, more than likely he's not going to snitch.
Yeah, we know.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so don't call me. You know what I'm saying? Call the Holy Spirit because he's a snitch. But peace out.
Oh, you mean feel like you dropped the bomb right there? You know what?
Lola.
Yeah?
Can I add one thing too? Really quickly?
Please,
go ahead. I think there's also another aspect of it where men just don't trust women. They don't trust women because they feel that they're used to being able to play our emotions.
Yeah.
Right. And because of that, they really just don't have the same level of trust as they do for each other. Right. They know how many times a man has taken somebody's woman from another man. They know how many times a man has slept with a woman who swears they're in a relationship and loves their man. Like, they don't trust us because our emotions can be swayed. Yeah. And because of that, I think that they just don't have that same level of loyalty towards us, even when they're in love with us, because they're side-eyeing us. And that's why when you cheat on them, they're like, oh, I knew it. Ooh, I knew it. And that's why they just never can come back to you, because they're like, I should have known.
Yeah, I agree. And I think even us, we are not loyal to each other, because there are many of us that we will see that. I mean, if you think culturally, coming from Nigeria, any of the African countries, culturally, they say, when you see your friend's man doing something, don't go and break up their happy home. Don't go say anything. We stay quiet. But the minute the woman step out and she's in a short skirt, the whole neighborhood hears about it. And we are the perpetrators. So I can't even blame them anymore. It's us. Like, I can say I've seen some things. I'm like, I'm not trying to get in between that. And I just kind of sit back. So unfortunately, we play a part in that as well.
Can we also add that we're each other's competition because we feel that the numbers are low? And that's the reason why sometimes we stab each other in the back, because we really see each other as competition, right? Yeah. I don't care how much, unless we're like sisters, there's some level of competition behind the back of our heads, because it's like the numbers are low on the guys' end. So,
yeah. Unfortunately. But I'm going to switch directions for a second. So we're talking about dilemmas, what happens, in terms of the girl code, guy code. And my good sis, Kia, had some kind of dilemma she wanted to share with us, right, Kia?
Yeah, so it wasn't my dilemma. Well, I guess it could have been.
No, it's not necessarily yours.
I'm joking, because it did end up kind of being my dilemma. So I think it also has something to do with how you're raised. A lot of times, because when I ask, I'm gonna give you the dilemma, but when I asked the person how they felt about it, they said, well, a lot of people in certain, southern cities they behave this way. So I'm like, well, my people are from the South too, and I don't know about them getting down like this. So here's the dilemma. When I met my ex, his mom was in a relationship. So as we, further the relationship, the man that his mom was in a relationship with was his cousin. So I'm like, well, how is that your cousin? He was like, oh, that's my dad's nephew. So I'm like, a little strange. So it's like your dad, your mom is okay with dating your dad's nephew. So the guy was living with the mom, so I'm like, okay, that's bro code. You broke the code. I didn't call it bro code at the time. I'm like, really, really, really strange. So move past, they would have Thanksgiving dinners together. They would all sit together. Everything was kumbaya. So I was like, well, who am I to judge? If y'all cool with it, I always thought it was strange because I've never seen such where y'all just co-mingle. Mm-hmm. So later on down the line, when me and this same ex broke up, two of his family members tried to hit on me. And I'm like, well, I was with your cousin, right? So it was like, they was like, whatever. One was a female, one was a guy. So I was just like, okay, because I don't like my ex. I really didn't not like him. He was like trash to me. But my loyalty, like, okay, I'm not going to rock with either one of your people. Well, I'm not definitely going to rock with the girl. But I'm telling you, because these people are shady to me. To me, I felt like both of his cousins were wrong for trying to talk to me. So I'm like, So he was like nonchalant about it. Like, oh, okay. Well, sir, I'm just telling you that I don't think these people are your friends or their family members, but I just felt like you might want to watch your back with them. But this is how this family moves. So some people, it's okay, I guess, if that's how they raised, because again, these people had dinners and they hung out for years and years all together.
So you know what? I kind of, that's, I don't want to say it's not unusual, but have I had that happen? I've had it happen before. You hear I hear all the guys in the panel talking about, my guy's going, blah, 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 the bro code, the this, the that. But numerous times I've had in different situationships where the guy's friend will kind of scoot around and holler back and say, hey, what's up? And I'm looking like, I don't even go back and track because sometimes it's too much to, these guys say one thing up front and say another. I hear they've got the bro code, they're down for the brother, so they lie for each other. But when it comes down to the crunch, they go around behind each other's back and do stuff.
Yeah, and I think guys don't trust their guys either. Like, as much as they don't trust women, they don't trust their guy friends either, because, like, I can't tell you how many times a boyfriend has said that he doesn't want me to be around a particular guy friend or whatever. And so, like, y'all just don't trust nobody, number one, and y'all break your own rules and try to say bros before hoes and, you know, all this type of stuff, and it's just all talk out of the side of the neck. So
a man can be tempted, huh? Okay, sorry. Okay, but yeah, so I'm hearing all these beautiful situations, but kind of going to a scenario here, I've kind of heard most people kind of say it, you know, if your friend, if there's a guy involved, you may not, but think of it this way: all of you you're at a wedding, you're looking really, because at weddings we always look nice, we're always in a great mood, we're really happy, and this, you know, I'm going to start with RHOA's expression, this tall chocolate guy. And he's got like close fitting, those European pants where you can see the phone number. So then definitely you can see the package. So you can see the package through, you know, everything. And he's walking, and then so you and your girl like, damn, man, you know, that's, you know, both of you are kind of feeling. So what would you do in that case? You know, would you engage if you both kind of like him? Like, how'd you do a toss up? What would the ladies do? A toss up, or would you best woman win? How'd you guys do that?
It's best women win in that situation because there's no prior history. Like, none of you guys have a claim to the man. So whoever he's, you know, feeling the most, that's who gets the man. You know, it is what it is.
Toss up.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. My best friend, well, my old best friend, we went to a cookout. There was this guy there. He was a tall drink of water, whatever you want to call him, but he was hot. And we both saw him, both found him attractive, and we let him kind of decide like who he initiates with or who he engages with, and that was it. So I won, yay. But yeah, but I mean, it was but we didn't take it personal. It was just like we both realized like, okay, we both like him, but we'll let him kind of choose. So that's a rare time where y'all get to choose, you guys.
Right. Yeah. Because
that's exactly why Natalie always look hydrated. Just saying.
Yes, because I'm not thirsty. I'm just hydrated.
Oh, I like that. Clink. But you know what? I mean, here, have all the ladies kind of addressed this? Because there's something I wanted to say before we move on about the same position, everyone on this. So going back to this main story. Oh, you have a story? Go ahead, please.
No, I don't have a story, but I wouldn't engage.
Oh, really?
Mm-mm.
But let me touch on that Porsha situation. I think a lot of women, like Porsha, they looking from the outside. So I think it was a money move for Porsha also, because she's seen something that she liked. Like you said, she went over to the house and then she wanted to disassociate herself as a friend. Because actually the person that my ex, I ain't gonna say it, I'm just a ex, a real close ex or whatever, the woman came around me. And so she was like in my house, you know, at barbecues. She was around. So when the situation hit the fan, oh, I was never her friend. Well, why was you at the barbecue? So again, I think women try to justify their actions and like, oh, that's not my friend. It was never, you know, such and such. So yes, you know, I'm like, girl, we talked at the barbecue. We had conversations. So women like Porsha, they will come around. And that's, I don't know who said it, David or whatever. How long you been looking at my man? So when them situations happen, I don't think them situations just happen like overnight. This is something that y'all probably was, you know, eyeballing each other at certain situations. I don't think it just happened. I think Porsha knew when she came over there in that swimsuit. Like, I don't watch the show, but I heard she came over with a swimsuit and he was looking at her bottom at the pool. Yeah, so I think women, like I said, when people just, like I said, that was just trifling people. Again, point blank, like I said, that's my opinion. You just trifling because you come around somebody and then you want to justify and say that y'all were not friends. So Porsha, she broke that code.
Yeah, but I guess for me, it's like if she think it was worth it, this was a money grab for her. She doesn't really need money, but then again, you know, the Atlanta streets are kind of hot.
No, but he got more money than her, so that's a little bit more. And Dennis was like, a hot dog man. He was making a little bread.
He's doing he's doing okay, but yeah. That's true. That was a money grab. She was moving up. There's a private jet, different lifestyle. But we've said all these things. We've talked about the scenarios and situations. But really, when you look at the chat, when you look at the blogs and everything, everyone's talking about Porsha. How many people are looking at Simon saying, "Young man, what's going on with you? You actually had more to lose. You actually broke your vows with someone you were married to. Like, what's going on?" I would like to hear from everyone. Like, why is it that Porsha's getting all the smoke? Why isn't Simon getting some of that smoke too? No, I'm talking about this bro code. I throw up the picture. I'm going to throw this picture up again so y'all can see it. That why isn't this what's happening? Like, it's too much. Where's that little picture I have for you here? Okay, so this is one picture of them. Like, so this is, Porsha's a beautiful woman. Homie's smiling. He's smiling like he's not married. The dude is still married. Porsha, we get it. She had a money grab. Something was going on. I don't know what she was thinking. But why is Simon getting away? I'd love to hear.
Okay. When it gets to that point, men don't really care about that because, like, for me, I don't think men really care about that. And in Porsha and Simon and Fallon and them case, Simon and that man must have had a conversation, and they came to an agreement that it won't, like, he probably asked him, "Would you think it would bother you if I probably date or probably get engaged to Porsha?" They must have had that conversation because if they're business partners, whatever they are, they must have had that conversation. But men don't really care. You just see what you had and what you lost, and it tells you much about the individual. But for me, I don't really care about that. If it has to get to that point, like I said, we need to have that conversation, we come to a conclusion, and that's it. That's just my opinion about it. We have that conversation. Yeah, you want to go ahead. If you think you want to be for, go ahead, wife or whatever it is. But I just know in my head that good luck.
But think about it. I think their situation is different because they have a daughter together. The little girl is maybe 2. So they're tied together for a good period of time. So there's still some, like, this is not just, oh, this was my babe and I lost her and so my guy's with her. This was, you were engaged and she has your kid. Like, why isn't there any smoke going in his direction? Like, these two guys, like, come on. I don't know, but I guess next
No, but that's what I'm saying. Those two guys must have had a conversation. They must have had a conversation. That's how I see it. With the conversation, they came to a conclusion. Then he went ahead and pursued Porsha. They must have had a conversation. But I think if he did it without having the conversation, then, they would have probably be bitter towards each other and probably not want to talk or help out one another. But I think they must have had a conversation.
I think because she's in a public eye.
Say again?
I said, I think it's because she's in a public eye. We didn't know who he was prior to this episode of whatever the name of the show is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Dennis was okay with it because I don't think he wanted the kid to begin with. I think that they was doing what they were doing. She got knocked up by accident. But now and I can't speak for him, but I think that if he didn't want this kid and now there's another man who can take that off of him, then it's like, I'm gonna pass the buck. Like, that means now you're responsible for her. And now he can go and do what he really wants to do because now the pressure's off of him. She has someone else to follow around and chase and be all in love with. And now that man is gonna obviously take care of her kid because he took care of Fallon's children as well. He's that kind of guy that's gonna take care of everybody. So I think Dennis is like looking like, hey, appreciate it. Good looking out. Because now he don't have to worry about, because I don't think he really wanted that baby. That wasn't planned. Come on. That baby was planned? Really?
I don't know.
Back to my hydration.
All right, keep hydrating. RHOA, did you want to say something about this? Why is Porsha getting all this attention and all the bad press? Simon he's $40 million worth of money. So he can be worth that press. Why isn't anybody really focusing on him and how he broke his vows?
Because I think for us as women, our currency is based on, quote unquote, our purity, how we keep ourselves and all of that. And I think when you look at a woman who breaks girl code, that almost makes her like, there's like a scarlet letter on her. Like, you broke girl code. Number one, you can't be trusted. So therefore you're not You're not that woman that a man should want to be with. I think her value, and really what's happening is she's being devalued, right? She's being devalued just because of the action that she took. And that's because for us as women, our value is constantly being assigned to us by our actions, whereas men, it's not so much. A man can sleep in the streets and be a whore, and that name is never attached to him. As a woman, our actions equate value for us, and because, for lack of better words, we're the ones being chosen. We always have to try to appease the person who's putting these values on us. And sometimes it's us women devaluing each other just so that the competition is less. And sometimes it's men doing it just because, they just don't see us as valuable. But I think that's what it is. Men don't have to fight for their value. They don't have to work for their value. Women, we do. We have to work for our value. And for her, this is just one mark against her value, and how she can be devalued. So it's another patriarchy.
Yeah. Yes. I completely I concur.
Yeah.
I just want to add to that.
Please.
The man's value is all wrapped up in the fact that he's worth $40 million. And there's this whole notion out here that high value men have a right to cheat, and that they should cheat, and that they should be out here doing whatever which way to women, and that's okay. And so that is the ideology that this society operates on. And we're seeing that play out right before our eyes.
And therefore, it goes back to the point of playing this game. You have to know what your currency is. What are you high in? What's the currency? How are you working? For men, it's money, right? It's money. And for us, it's just this image of being an upstanding woman. So, yeah. Is it fair? No, but it's the reality.
It's reality of it. And that's what I noticed. Because do I agree with the position? I get that she did a money grab, but the truth is she wasn't that hungry. She has multiple streams of income. So it wasn't like she was suffering. She was on the ground and, her daughter had to eat. So in essence, she has kind of muddied her name and her worth, unfortunately, messing with this dude. He has nothing to lose. A lot of times people say you lose them the way you got them. And so at this point, she's kind of messed herself up. But for what? Like because she clearly is someone who likes press. She likes good press. She's a reality star. That's her currency. She can get cut from her show tomorrow. But the point is like, is this guy going to be with her for the whole thing? I doubt it. Yeah, this is going to be his third marriage if they even get to the altar. That I doubt. And then I don't want to judge. I'm Nigerian, so I'm going to say it though, right? Nigerians with money is a dude. Come on, I don't know if it's going anywhere. I wish her the best though. But yeah, I'm Kojo. So why you think that this my poor lady is getting all the smoke, and none of you are talking about Simon and his $40 million?
Well, I mean, to be honest, do you know what? Scripture-wise, I want to bring something. The woman is almost spoke of as being the glory of the man. And if you look at anything like from a kingdom perspective, like kings and queens, right? We call it a kingdom for a reason, right? So when the woman is meant to be the glory of that kingdom, right? So when another king comes in, he sees this queen, the ultimate disrespect he can bring to that kingdom is to take the woman from that kingdom, or to kill that woman, or whatever, to do something to that woman. Because as a king, you're supposed to protect your domain and everything within it, right? So oftentimes there is a possessive attitude towards these, if we're talking between males and females. So that's why there's a difference in when a woman cheats, because she is the possession of the man. I'm talking about in quotes in terms of how we look at society, not actually that, so please don't shoot me. But we're talking about in terms of the fact the woman's a possession of the man. So now if she does dirty, it reflects badly on the king that can't control his domain. If the king decides to do madness, that's his domain. He does what he does. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. So the way that we think is in that aspect, and we call it patriarchy, you call it that, if you want to call it that, yeah. So I think that's why she's getting the smoke. It's like she's getting the smoke because oftentimes, like you said, it's the label gets attached to the person who's the possession, right? It's easier to attach her with that because it's not her domain, it's his domain, and she's messing up his name almost in a sense. So she's gonna get a smoke, not him. And men don't usually hold other men accountable anyway when we do this madness. So
Never.
you're not going to hear us cussing another man. Yeah. Do you understand? Because we have a level of entitlement which says, "Oh, bro, if bro's doing that, bro, just do your thing." Or if you are doing your thing, you have to understand the reason why a lot of us men don't hold other men accountable is that unless I'm ready to cause bloodshed, I'm not about to start holding certain men accountable. It's just that simple, because you're talking about a king to another king. And unless you're ready for war, I'm not about to start challenging another man. That means I have to go into his territory and arrest him. No. So unless I'm ready to fight that kind of war, and I have the army behind me to do it, I have the battalion to do it, I'm not about to start checking man for that. And you can see how this works as well, because as soon as Derek Jackson does his thing, now I know he was pandering a little bit as well, but as soon as Derek Jackson started checking that men should behave a certain way, look how the men came after him. Because what they were saying is, now you're starting to step on our territory. You're telling us how to run our kingdoms. Right? Because men oftentimes are, due to the fact that physically we are the stronger sex, if you want to call it that, in some sense, we take what we want. You take what you want, right? So if another man is telling you how to go about your business, it's like, bro, are you trying to come to the war thing? Because you're not about to tell me how I run my kingdom. So that's why, again, the men also too will not speak about other men and how they behave, but they'll talk about the woman, because actually psychologically, I don't know what they call it. It's called I'm trying to forget the term. When you can't, it's not deflection, but it's basically when you can't speak to the person who deserves the attack, you have to shift it. For instance, if you go to work, you can't talk to your boss in a certain way. So when you get home, you put that energy in somebody else, because they can get it, right? Gotcha. And the same thing with men. That's how we behave. It's like, okay, I can't talk to you that way, but I can tell the woman that thing. So we're passing the buck over, because we can't check other man, because as soon as we check other man, the moment we mess up, them men are going to be on your neck. Yeah, because you've been disloyal to the team. So that's in a sense why the women get a lot of the slack and a lot of the heat from these situations as well.
Before we continue, there was a quick question one of my good sisters in the chat had. She's saying, okay, yes, I did live in Atlanta, and can I speak to what's going on with these rich African men? Okay, I don't know if it's just Atlanta. Well, first of all, Atlanta, it's really hot in those streets. Unfortunately, a lot of the ladies are thirsty because half the men are batting for the other team. That's just how it goes. But the thing in terms of the rich, there are rich Africans everywhere, but there's a thing with the rich men. They don't really have, I don't want to use the term scruples, but they really just go for whatever. And I guess at this point, there's still these females that believe about, these men, what they call it, the high value man. So to me, Simon, I don't know him, but I'm only speculating. I wouldn't call him high value because he's worth 40 million. I don't know anything about his personality, his integrity, and who he is. But that, for some reason, still, for a lot of people, particularly in these COVID streets, is if he's worth that. Like when you see the Instagram pictures flying on a jet with an Hermes blanket draped over your shoulder and with your Birkin bag perched all in one shot, it looks great. But the truth is like, really, what is it really cut out to be? So I think that's what it is. A lot of females get this picture because culturally, for African men, they are meant to be taking care of females, and they like to woo a woman by throwing money at her. But then a lot of times you attract the wrong type of woman when you're just throwing money. So I think that's what it is. They're just doing that. But I think that happens in a lot of places. But then African men do that because culturally, that's how they gain control. That's why they believe in patriarchy, because that's how they feel once I've thrown that money, then I'm the boss, I'm in charge. That's really what they're saying. So that's really what it is, that dynamic right there. But going back to, why she's getting the smoke. Did I have everyone? Honor, did you? I think Honor wanted to say something. Honor, do you want to speak as to why you think my good lady is?
I think we covered most of it. I don't have anything to add. I think it just comes. It's like it's a money grab or a money situation. And this, I don't know what else to say.
Okay, individual. Anything from you?
I think in this particular situation, she's getting a lot of the heat because it's more of a female-dominated audience. So like y'all are more familiar with Porsha rather than the men, and I think to expect men to care about this particular situation, in which they're not necessarily the dominant audience, I'm not sure if that correlates with what we're paying attention to, right? Like, I only know of the situation because of women. Like, I don't watch the show. I had no idea about any of this until other women told me. right? So of course y'all are more likely going to pay attention to what Porsha is doing, probably because you also expect men to be dogs. So like it's not really a surprise there. But when it comes to another woman, she's like, yo, what are you doing? What happened to your honor? Like we're supposed to be able to act in a much better way than this. So that's where I think it's coming from. She just has more attention.
Yeah. Did I get everyone? Natalie, did you have anything to say about why Porsha's getting all this smoke and all the heat? I think you're muted. We can't hear you. There you go.
Okay. I think for me, I think I put more pressure on her just because I'm a female. So as a woman, I compare my standards to her standards. I can't compare myself to a man and what another man would feel is right or wrong. So I guess for me, that's why I give her smoke and not so much Mr. Moneybags.
I think part of it too is like, I don't want to give her the smoke, but honestly, I think as females, we judge ourselves harder. And even with all this mess with him, you know, still kind of getting with Porsha, even though he's still married to Phelan, truth is, if he stepped to someone tomorrow, chances are, even if she says no, she'd do a hard think with that 40 million USD behind his name. And unfortunately, I think it boils down to that's the truth. And end of story, she's getting all the smoke. Did I hear from everyone? Kia, did I hear your opinion?
Yeah, I believe I gave my opinion. Yeah. Like I said, I just think that with Porsha, like you said, she's a reality star, and we, you know, I don't watch the show. I used to watch it maybe like 10 years ago, but you know, it just wasn't my cup of tea anymore. She's a reality star, and like I said, she used to make a lot of bad decisions over the years. So she tried to clean herself up. I don't know if she got a good publicist, but she, you know, people have been watching her. Like, okay, and you know, they was talking about like people sleeping with other people, men, when season 1 came out, and you know, they all had their opinion. So it's just like a bad look. But I think like with the guy, he can get the smoke too. I just didn't know who he was. I'm like, who is this guy? But he get the smoke. Like I said, with Natalie said, as far as her being a woman, I think we put our, you know, we're sympathetic because we're looking like, how could you do that to another woman? That's your sister. Why would you want to do that? I mean, like I said, my heart goes out to the other girl. Even if she's saying that's not her friend, you still went to the barbecue. So even for him, I did put in our comments earlier, he don't want Porsha because anytime that you get a person a certain type of way, he's not going to be able to trust her. Do you think he's really going to trust her with any of her friends or anybody else? Because if you did this to get me, who else, man, would you sleep with? Who else would you? And like a couple of weeks ago, an episode I heard about it, that she was sleeping with a stripper. So, hey. No, for real. I heard about that and I didn't watch the show. They was like, you got to find the episode. Koja, you didn't hear that? I was going to listen. I said, it's not that serious.
Yeah, Bolo's a well-known stripper in Atlanta, and he's
Lola, you got all the tea. So did she go in the room with him? They said that it was
so the word on the street is that they heard them. Sis Porsha, I'm not trying to put your business out there, but it's on the reality TV streets anyway. Apparently, the word is out there that they could hear them from the room, and that's where it is. But Simon still, even though Simon's Nigerian, he saw all of this, but he said he wanted to wife her. So I guess who am I to judge? But yeah,
we'll see.
That's it. I think I had Didi. Did you say something before we start running up and getting our last few minutes?
Yeah. Well, women, I don't have much to say. Almost everybody, the points like it. They explained it properly. They brought it properly. So I don't have much to say about that.
All right. So I'm going to give
women are more emotional than men, and I think that women. I don't know, like as a man, I don't understand women fully. So some of the things women do, I do not understand it. I don't know why, but I think with Porsha's case, Porsha is like trying to secure a future or maybe try to get a bag, basically. Yeah. But then people will come after her more because it wasn't Simon that really is the one. I say that would probably. He's not really the one who doesn't have like. He has more collateral than Porsha. That's how I put it. Like, he's a millionaire. He makes more. He earns more, and she doesn't earn as much as him. So, like Coach just said, they would always go after her and not really go after him because he has more and she has less. That's how I see it. So they usually go after or pinpoint the person who have less to lose, and the person with more to gain. Sorry, they usually go after the person with more to gain, because Porsha would have more to gain. Let's say if they get a divorce, whatever amount of money you have, let's say that if she don't sign a prenuptial agreement, she will like basically lose, I guess. I don't know. I'm lost. I'm going in circles. But I just, for me, those people, like, it's a reality show. I don't really care, to be honest. They run in the same circles, so they just do what they do. They don't look at if you're a friend, if you're not a best friend, if you a good friend, whatever. They just run in the same circles. They use one another to get what they want, and that's just how it is.
You know what? The reason why I wanted us to do this is because, yes, it's a reality show, and yes, they're reality stars, and yes, they're about the bag, and yes, they're about headlines. Could this be fake headlines? It could. But the truth is, this is so not new. This happens every day. It's happening right now. It's happening to regular people who aren't on TV. And these same situations keep happening. And that's why I figure, okay, we talk about girl code, we talk about guy code. Is it real? And what is that? And do we really follow that? And at the end of the day, is that something we live by? Is it just something that's convenient when it's convenient? So it's convenient to judge someone who has that. And so pretty much that's why I wanted us to kind of see. And from my conclusion, the guys still go by the guy code. They claim that they're the best, but they're the ones that end up a lot of the time approaching the female from behind. So clearly guys swear by the guy code, but they don't follow the guy code, in my humble opinion. So they're the ones that are really thirsty out in these streets. But the thing is, they don't get the consequences of their behavior. They don't get punished, so to say. It's the woman who feels it. Because a lot of times everyone's saying about Porsha, calm as a bee, calm as a circle. The way you lose them is the way you get them, and blah, blah, blah. But it's all directed at Porsha. So at the end of the day, yeah, there's a code. They claim to go by a code, but they don't really follow the code. Females, we talk about a code, but every now and again we do break the code. So at this point, it's like, the reason why we feel the impact of breaking the code is because for some reason the patriarchy is kind of putting that on us. Somebody wanted to say something?
Yes.
Sorry. No, go for it. Go for it now.
Okay,
First.
So I got something here. I might be on to something. Just walk with me.
All right.
So we're talking about Porsha, and you're saying that she has money. She's obviously not struggling.
Right. She's not broke. Yeah.
And we're trying to figure out, what the deal is with Simon. And we mentioned how women are competitive. Now, what just hit me is I'm thinking that maybe in her circle, because the women in her circle are successful women, I think now it's to the point where, okay, we all have a nice house. We all have a nice car. We all have money in the bank. But now is my husband has more money than your husband. It's almost like a badge of honor. So the more money your man has, now you have another notch up on another woman, because her man only has 20 million. But now this man has 40. So I think that might be more of an ego stroke in that circle of women that we're looking at on TV.
I like that. What were you going to say, Dr. Kojo?
It was more of a question. So here's a question. Here's a little dilemma thing again, man. Obviously, situation. Let's say, for instance, this is to ladies. For instance, let's say I dated your friend, but when I say friend, like you close, but like you know what it is. It's more the fact that let's say you lot went church, so you guys know each other and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But obviously when I dated you, you knew I was dating your friend. You understand? Cute. Why are you laughing for? I dated your friend, didn't it? You get me? And obviously now I come back in, and obviously I'm seeing you, and I'm like, oh, do you know what? Like, you know what? I think we should just kick it. This is a dilemma. I think we should just kick it. You know what I'm saying? No relationship. I think we should just kick it. You find me attractive, I find you attractive. I think we should just kick it. At that moment, hypothetically speaking, ladies, are you breaking girl code?
Yeah. I think, and I'll put it like this. So yeah, just kicking it means it's just between two of you. Nobody knows.
No one's got to know. You understand? Silent lips. We don't want to sink no ships.
I mean, that's true. But the truth is, remember what we said, this code is something that we superimpose on ourselves. It's not about the other person, it's about us. So the thing is, if we say we live by the code, then really, even if she doesn't know, then you've kind of broken, because we set these invisible rules and modules for ourselves to hold ourselves up to a higher standard. But if we're kicking it with this guy who was my girl's friend, boyfriend, and maybe they dated for 2-3 years, so hopefully we just had like this brotherly kind of respect. How you doing, sir? I'll see you later. But then if all of a sudden you decide to cross those lines just privately, it's like, I want to ask, what do you have to gain from it? Like, what is it? Is he the only in the streets? You can have a good time with Bolo. You're Bolo out there. Bolo blessed.
I'm the Bolo. You understand?
But there's another Bolo too. There are many Bolos. There are many Bolos, yeah. Look,
Lola.
Many Bolos, Lola.
This is my DD after dark. And we're talking about the play sweatpants. Lola over there talking about Bolo. I didn't know the name. Okay, y'all gonna have me have to.
I'm following Bolo on IG. Yo, what? After the episode, I said I want to see what it's all about. But yeah, so let me let the other ladies answer.
So you wouldn't go there, ladies? Would you not go there? Like, no one's got to know. Nobody's gonna know. Like TikTok said, no one's gonna know.
And like Dee said, everything done in the dark is gonna come out to light. Where you think that nobody's gonna know, somehow it's your integrity, But even though your integrity, but still stuff seems to always come out.
So someone's got loose lips, basically. That's what you're trying to say.
I'm just saying, you don't know, like, people drive past people's houses and see, a car that ain't supposed to be there. It's people, you don't know where you might be and somebody see you.
When you cheat, you know how to be slick, and now suddenly you don't know how to mess around now.
We're not saying that. We're not saying that.
Come on.
We can. No doubt we can, but it was a situation. But let me let the other ladies tell me what they think. RHOA, what do you think about Dr. Kojo's question here?
So I think, again, it goes back to integrity, but you have to understand, it also goes back to the currency that we as women hold. I think that is going to decrease like everything we're saying right here when we talk about integrity. If the society could allow us to get away with that, of course we would. But society does not allow us to get away with it. Now I'm going to go sleep with you, and now I'm going to be called a hoe, and that's going to decrease my currency. And like, I'm not going to be worth much. Like, we can talk around this all day, every day. But unless our emotions are making us irrational, which is, i.e., I've fallen in love with someone. And that's the reason why women cheat based off emotion more so than not. Yeah. Is because our emotions make us a little bit more irrational. And so then we take certain risks that we normally wouldn't take. But if I'm not in love with you, there's nothing I'm feeling about you, there's no emotion really tied to you, I'm not taking that risk. For what? There's no payoff for me. Really, it's going to decrease my value. And I don't want that. So, no.
I'm with you, sis. I like that.
So, no, you're not doing it. But I have a perfect example. Okay, so I used to, I'm going to say, my before Christ days. So I used to be hot out here in these city streets. So I used to have my brother, we used to live together or whatever. So my cousin's husband, I guess he saw an opportunity. So he would always come over to the apartment to, chill with my brother. So one day my brother wasn't there or whatever. And he was just like, what's up with you? I'm willing to pay to play. And I was just like, nah, bro, because you my cousin, man. And don't even come at me like that. Now, have I ever told her no, even though they're not together now? But I wouldn't even, play her like that. So it was an unwritten code for me because I'm like, I know your children. These are my cousins. I'm not, dude, let's just pretend this never happened. So when I see him now, we just pretend like it never happened. But it was just that unwritten, code. And, he broke the code. But and he knew my ex, too. This is like.
Wait, was he with your cousin at the time when he came at you?
Yes, he was.
Okay, that's a bit. Okay, let's say 3 or 4 years down the line.
I'm still not Kojo. I see him now.
She's still not Kojo.
He actually provides the service for me at this time or whatever he does. I don't want to put it out there. He does. He's my line guy. But he come I don't open the door. He does it when I'm not even here most of the time, whatever.
Baby.
You know what, Kojo?
Pay
So
to
we
play.
just
I
went
like
to
that
that
one.
situation. No, seriously, I was like, am I a prostitute? Am I cheating? Like out here, he basically was like, okay.
He wants to keep that quiet. That's why he's saying that. Smart lad.
But
he's thinking about it. He's thinking about it.
You know what, Kojo? You being dirty today. Kojo. I was not thinking about it. That's my cousin. It's a code. You know,
I'm joking.
Even like I could say, oh well, if he come over here, oh that was like tell my cousin like, oh he's here with my brother. So nobody probably would have never known because he was always at our house. So nobody probably would have ever found out. And if my brother would have found out, he probably wasn't gonna tell my cousin. But no, Kojo, it was you just.
It's hot out here in these streets. Yeah.
So he was trying to get it through a young tender when I was,
So no. To your question, yeah, everybody said no, sir.
Nats, you said no as well.
Everything Adjua said, I echo and mirror. I have to sleep with myself at night, and I can't do it doing some shady stuff. So for me, it's not worth it. There's too much flesh running around these streets for me to be talking to one that's been previously owned by a friend or a colleague or a family member.
But why am I previously owned? If it's been like 3 or 4 years, I'm not with that girl no more. Why am I previously owned?
Okay,
we got a good relationship. You find me attractive. I find you attractive. Like, why am I previously owned? Why does she have to have possession over me? I don't
You're
understand.
a museum piece. I can look at you, but I ain't
So
touch you.
If I go to the dealership and I buy me a previously owned vehicle, okay, I don't care how many years ago it was or how low the mileage is. Yeah. It wasn't mine first. So I'm good. I'm
not
just
anybody's first.
There's another car right next to it that somebody else had that I don't know, and I'm gonna take that one instead.
But Kojo, it's still off limits because, like, like with my ex, I don't like him. I don't want him. But if one of my friends start dating him, I don't want to see him. So
that's like
it's off limits. That's like it's certain things. Like you said, it's not an expiration date, Kojo. You just stay away. 3 or 4 years, if they just run into each other at the supermarket, they just need to say, "Hey, keep it moving."
Okay, it's like having sex with a person that you like. If I sleep with my best friend's ex from 5 years ago or whatever, and I sleep with him now, I slept with her. That's even though it's been years. That's just
you don't have to think like that. Not you don't have to think like that. Not no.
Look at the devil. Look at the devil talking and trying to entice you, sir. We said no. Like, why are you pushing it?
No, Kojo's just trying to get dialogue. I had a whole deep dive Friday on this when y'all was saying certain people are off limits that you just put in your mind that it's off limits. You just like, but whether you put them in that brother sister, bot. Certain people you just be like, never looking at you like that.
I think it's also because us as women, we know how attached we can get to certain experiences with the person. So sometimes it's not even about the person, right? But sometimes we have these experiences and these emotional attachments to that person. And because we know how that works, it doesn't work that way for y'all. Y'all as men, y'all use, abuse, and dispose, and you're gone. But for us, there's certain emotional attachments.
Some men, not all as men.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Let me correct that.
Didi felt offended by that.
That was a broad brush.
Didi, stop breaking format, please.
That was a broad brush. So some men.
It's not all of us. All of us, okay?
No, it's the men and Didi. Okay, Didi different. Didi special. Didi's my Jacob.
No, but Didi was still the same one that says that once I'm done with you, I'm done. Right? Yeah, so which means that there's a cut of ties. There's the heartstrings, like you cut it. And there's a way that you guys can compartmentalize that we just can't, where we still hold on to certain emotional aspects of a relationship, not even the person. So because we know this and we know that there's a possibility of this, to stay away from you even hurting somebody else's feelings at all, don't touch their man. Don't even try to do it.
I'm not their man, by the way. At that point, I'm 3-4 years in. Just want to
but because they're attached to some experience of yours, trust me, you're
There's
always
mileage on you.
Part
you got
of
the
their
mileage. That's it.
Yeah, because I'll be talking to her and I'll mention, oh yeah, and Kojo took me out and bought me roses. Oh, took you out to which restaurant?
And why
that
should she
one
be
that's
annoyed?
in the corner? Oh, that used to be our
She
restaurant.
couldn't draw that out of me. You could draw that out of me. She couldn't do that. That's her business.
No, but maybe you took her there too. Because that's your spot. Oh,
if you compare notes like that, then I mean, and I'm doing that, my bad.
That's
Kojo starting mess edge.
Okay, so what? None of you ladies have actually thought about this. No, I'm just gonna keep it roll. Like you've never thought, right? If it wasn't the fact that you was with my friend.
We're allowed to think about stuff. Yeah, we can think about it. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, if it wasn't because
I think about robbing banks, but I don't rob banks. But I think about it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay, so we're all crazy. That's good. I just want to make sure we're all crazy. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean,
we think about it, but we don't act on it.
I hear that. I respect it.
Yeah, you can get another bolo anywhere you want. You don't have to be that bolo. There are bolos all over the country.
Taking the trash out, you can catch a bolo.
So what would make you guys break this code? What needs to happen to see that you break this code? I just want to find out what needs to be done.
No, don't give it to him. It's an ancient Chinese secret. We'll never tell you.
You see, David. You see, David. Just say what they like, David. You see.
Ladies, hold
formation.
Don't break code.
Don't break code.
Yeah, we're gonna hold formation.
Fair enough. Hold
the answer is nothing, Kojo. Nothing will get us to break.
No, you didn't, Onu. Really, Onu. If you look, say it with your chest. Please say it out. See what Onu. Say what you said in the chat. What would make us break code? Come on, say it. Say it, Onu. Say it. Say what you said.
It's money. I said $1 bills. I mean,
that's how you talk about your sis.
You put your price out.
Okay, all right, that's kind of funny, but I will say this. How many times have we heard about a guy doing something to a girl and you be like, first of all, you ain't got enough money to be doing that. You can't be lying and you broke. So on Anu's point, he does have a point, not to all women, but you will be like, and if you had money, I could tolerate the lies, but you broke. You can't be lying and be broke.
Choose your struggle.
Look. No offense to anybody in the world, but have you ever seen an ugly man with this beautiful girl, and that man is loaded with money, and you know what they say? Love grows. Love grows on like you can learn to love a person. Like they're not looking at his face, but they're looking at his pocket. So Anu has a point.
Only time a girl call a dude bust is because he acting like trash. So you might learn to love him, but when he start doing moving mad, that's when you be like, oh dude, you got the nerve to be ugly and moving mad. That's when that comes in. But I don't think that
some of this, well, not all, some of them still stay. They stay until the end. Because the money the money keeps the world going wrong, so they stay. They bad attitude, good attitude, abusive, not abusive, ugly, nice, they stay. They know he's cheating. Because one more thing. I know we don't want to talk about Kevin Samuels, but one time he did an interview with a chick, and that chick was like, she don't want a man that make the same as her father did. She wants a man that make at least $1 million. And then he asked her, what does she bring to the table? She's like, well, she's a candlestick maker. Mm-hmm. And then he told her it wouldn't work. But so he asked her, if the man cheated on you, like if you get a man that makes $1 million, if he cheats on you, would you accept it? She's like, yes. So some women just want to just be in a relationship. Some women just want to be in a relationship just for the financial gain or the financial benefits. And if that one guy, let's say that 1 millionaire, they leave him, they actually go, if his friend, his cousin, another family member, they do that just because they just want to live that kind of lifestyle. So money does make people do things. I know as a point, some of them would probably leave him and go to his father, like the women would leave him and go to his father because the father has money as well, or leave him and go to his cousin because the cousin has money. So that's what some people just look for. So I guess people go for what they want, and they do break the code because of just what they're looking for. They have this certain type. So they wouldn't care about if it's a brother, uncle, an auntie, or whatever it is. They wouldn't care because that's the type they're looking for. It's the money they want.
I think it's status too. Like I recently heard of some situation in which a singer was engaged to someone for like 8 years or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Drake, baby.
Drake.
Yeah, right. Then she goes in. She goes in the booth with Drake one time, and all of a sudden, they're not anymore, right? Right. So then, to me, he has the money, he has the status. And she was attracted to her man, so Drake just seemed to trump her man in those two areas. It could be either or. You never know.
Yeah, I'm not gonna break girl code just for a bag. I'll date a guy who's not that cute, but I'll do that if he was broke too, because looks isn't at the top of my priority list. I prefer more substance. But if it came down to two guys who one was ugly and one was handsome, and they were the exact same guy, like as far as personality, treatment, how they are, and one had money and one didn't, I'm going to one with the money. Because out of the two, I'd rather have a great life and the same personality type if I had a choice. Just saying. But I ain't breaking girl code for nothing.
For that, exactly.
But that's exactly why I say is the type. People have the type, is what they want, what they go for. Is your type. You know?
Well, you know what, everyone, so we've confirmed that the girl code for the girls is stronger. The guys just talk about it, but they're not really about that kind of life.
Have you asked the man them?
Guys code is stronger.
Yeah, can I say one thing? I actually do think that the men code is strong. And I think if we really heard what the men said, every single one of them mentioned a best friend and a brother. I think there are levels to it. I think when they, like with friends, the people that they call friends, usually they're just like, we know what works with you. Like, we know what's going to pull you. Cause that's us too. Like, we get tempted. So you get tempted. All right, cool. Yeah. But I think the consistency is brother and best friend. I think those are the two that they really hold in high regard. Respect. And those are the two. Yeah. So I do think that the men do hold it. I think that with their friends, it's just like, I probably would do the same too, bruh. So.
I'll take
because back in my younger days, at the time he was my friend, but then he betrayed me. So what I did, I went after his ex.
Wait, I didn't hear what?
No, I say back in my younger days, I had this friend and he betrayed me. So then as soon as he did that, I went after his ex, and then the rest is history. Because like Kojo said, we trust and we have that brotherhood, but once you break it, but we still talk. But just to teach him a lesson, I just did that out of spite. Like I said, I was younger.
The girl was a pawn. The girl was a pawn in this moment.
To get back at him. But that's when I was younger. I'm older, I'm wiser now. But if in the future, I would never do that again. But when you're young, you do stuff. But then I just did it to get back at him, and then we were even. Nah, it. So, but we still talk. But we just not as close as before. And my circle is so small now. I make my circle smaller and smaller because for me, I have friends, like Kojo said, and I have acquaintances. So my brothers are my brothers. I'll not betray them. I'll not do anything to hurt them. We understand each other. We have our code, and that's why the code is very strong. If you're an acquaintance, no. If you betray me, then you better be careful with that.
Dude, that's not a circle. That's a dot. When your circle's that small, that's just a dot. That's not even a circle, sir.
Oh, Didi, it's okay. You know, Jacob only has
quality, not quantity.
There you go.
That's right.
Yo, I asked a question in the chat. Yeah, this is for the man them. Yeah, well, the girls can also ask this as well, but I think it's more dangerous to the man them. I said, obviously, if you had a best friend, obviously his girl's fire, and like let's say like she asks you to go out so that you can buy a present for your boy. Whilst obviously being out, she then kisses you. What is your next move? Do you tell your boy that she kissed you? Do you not say anything? Like, what is your next move? I know your boy probably end up believing you, but it's now tricky, blood, because he loves this girl. Girl's fire as well. 9 out of 10, straight up. It's dangerous, bro. You know what I mean? Like, he's in deep. What do you do?
I tell. I ain't got time, because it's better if I tell him and then he get mad at me and he don't want to be my friend anymore than I keep it a secret. because then the pressure is going to be on me, and I don't want the pressure to be on me.
Right. If
the decision is up to him. After that, the decision is up to him. If you want to be my friend, if you don't want to be my friend, it's fine. But I'm going to tell.
If I know he's like truly in love with
deep
her,
in love, you know the ones.
I can't do it. I can't go forward with her. Like if it's just a girl that he's like, yeah, whatever, then I'll still talk to him about it. You know what I mean? But like if I know he's madly in love, gotta drop her. I gotta tell him you gotta drop her. Because,
you gotta tell him you gotta drop her.
Yeah.
I respect that.
So Kojo, you are part of this kind of triangle, is that what I'm getting?
Oh no, not exactly. But it just came to my mind, and I thought to myself, Rod, do you tell? It's never actually happened to me, but I was like, do you tell? How do you move? Because obviously, if the guy really likes the girl, and it's like it gets techie because you're now the messenger, and you know bullets can fly. You know what I mean? This can get messy real quick. You know what I'm saying? Like when it's techie like that, especially with a guy
close to her for her to kiss you.
That's why it's hypothetical, darling. Listen, there's some of these girls out here, you never know how they move. I mean, obviously, listen, the example was obviously you went out and you were meant to buy something for your boy, and while I was out, she just kissed you. Like, do you know what I'm saying? She brazen like that. Do you know what I'm saying? It's wild. I mean, it's not probably like it wouldn't happen like that.
What, the way Jason kissed Liz? That smooth little...
Well, okay, yeah, let's talk like that. Like, do you know what I mean? Just kiss you like that. And then she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. So now I'm going to flip it now. Well, she's like, I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me. Like, oh my God, like, don't tell him. Like, at that point, what are you not doing?
She gotta go.
I'm trying to make it like, you know, like put on a heartstring. She's like, oh my God. She starts crying. Oh my God, like, I love your boy. Like, blah, blah. It was just stupid. Blah, blah, blah. Are you now going to break that union up, bros?
I'm snitching.
No, at that point,
you guys should not tell.
Nah,
at that point,
nah, bro. If she doesn't have discipline to behave herself with me, who else is she out here doing stuff with? Like, it brings so many things into question.
Yeah.
And, like, he cannot trust her. I have to tell him. I'm his best friend. If you're gonna do it to his best friend, you're gonna do it to anybody.
Truth.
Yeah, Kojo, at that point, you can just call me Takashi 69. I'm telling.
Not Takashi.
Okay, does it make a difference if maybe it's not your best friend then? So it's a friend, someone that you're cool with, you know him, you know, you have them kind of friends that you're cool, you know him, you know what I'm saying? Like you could chill, whatever, but you're not best friends. Could that change the dynamic of, you know what I mean? Like does that change it a little bit then? Because best friend is your best friend, so I can understand that.
At that point, I will not tell him anything. Because we're not cool like that, dude. That's your business. All I do is I mind my business.
I think it depends. It depends on the relationship that I have with the person. Like,
yeah.
If the person's like cool, then it's like, okay, it might be a toss up. But if the girl is fire and I leave, it's a different story. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. It's like at this point, you're just a casualty. You know what I mean?
What do we say about these boys and their guy code? So if the girl is fire, then that's it.
It also depends on the friendship between me and the guy. If me and the guy really aren't that cool, then it's like, hey, she's for everybody, bro.
I hear what you're saying. So if it's like if it's not a very close friendship, then it makes sense that I get what you're saying. So you just know the guy, then it's different. I hear that.
Yeah,
Did you try to then pursue and take her from the guy?
No, I'm not gonna look. I'm not gonna pursue her because you cannot be with somebody else and come at me. But if I'm single, hey, we can be friends with benefits.
Here's what I don't understand.
Abort.
So, you said it depends on how cool you are with the guy, right?
No, but you cannot take a girl like that serious.
Why does the integrity have a limit depending on how cool you are with the guy? Shouldn't the integrity remain the same regardless?
We'll try.
Be loyal to every guy that I'm friends with.
No,
it's not about being loyal.
I won't date any girls after that.
No.
It's not about being. It's more about like you know that this girl is with a guy and now she's trying to move mad with you, and you're just gonna go for that?
Listen,
Look, Maria, there's something he's doing wrong.
If she's trying to leave and she's in a relationship, right, and I'm single, to me, obviously, I'm not going to like wife her up or anything like that. I'm going to see where it goes, and then I'm going to leave it wherever it is, because clearly I cannot trust her. If I'm to go with her, relationship with her, she's going to do the same thing with me. I'm just going to take it for what it is. Let it be a short-term thing, and the guy will find out.
But like, look at the madness of that, right? Like, if she is doing this, meaning this probably is not her first rodeo. Meaning you don't know what type of STDs this girl got, but you're willing to sacrifice it all
because she's fired.
That's too much thought. That's too much thought, man. That's too much thought. You're going too far ahead, Maria.
How do you know that she wasn't just giving sloppy copy literally hours before being with you?
That's not my business.
Right.
And then you know, taking all on her and doing all this and doing the see, that's where it gets a little nasty.
We don't care.
Men don't care. The men don't. Actually, you know what? They actually prefer the one who they feel is nasty, because now I can use you as much as I want to.
Amen.
All the fantasies that I want to do that I can't do with the person who I have respect for, I could try it all on you because you don't even respect yourself. So why should I? Listen, the men don't care. They take it. He said it best. He said, when I was watching Your Life, he said, listen, if we don't have to work hard, we won't. What's the point? I don't have to work hard. I won't. And to them, it's not about integrity, because for them, integrity is not a part of their makeup. It's not a part of their makeup, but it's not a part of their value. Like, when you think manhood, you don't think integrity. So they're just like, what? No. I can sleep with you. Let's go.
We're tribalistic.
Now, Maria, one thing I want to say. No, hold on. One thing I want to say. In my younger days, I mean, in your 20s, your early teens, your late teens, like 90s, and in your 20s. And more, I'll say probably maybe in my early 30s. I mean, that's a time in your life you're testing the waters, you're experimenting, you're learning stuff. Right now, I'm 37. So I am not looking to be doing that kind of stuff, because I've done it, experienced it. I'm just being very honest. I've been there, done that. I've experienced it. I know what it is like. Right now, my focus is on getting married and, having kids. My focus is not playing around. So in my younger days, if that happened to me, hey, I'll take the opportunity. But as you get older, you get wiser, you get smarter. If you don't want to live that kind of lifestyle anymore, she would kiss me, I would not entertain her. I'll just stay away from her. But in my younger days, because I'm just experimenting.
Good points.
There we go. And so we have it. Do you guys have any last minute thoughts you'd like to add before we round this up, since we've gone to this messy dilemma?
So I have a question.
Please.
Do we think that social media and just this hype of like side chickery and getting the bag and try to get the man, has that affected girl code in a way? Like, has that affected the way that women move in, with respect to other people's relationships?
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely. Because if you think about it, we think of survival. We're for self. That's how we're designed and that's how we're created. You see somebody that your girl has and he's got that bag, and everything is so superficial and materialistic right now. Like, you're the woman if you've got these certain things, the red bottoms, the bag, the outfit, the way you fly private. You're dying to live that lifestyle because you see it on IG every day and it's right there in your fingertips, and you're not going to do it because of girl code? Nah, G, you'll jump. So I think that's the main thing. I don't know what the other ladies feel like, but yes, I think that's the problem.
And before the other ladies go, I feel like that's what Porsha saw. Porsha went to this girl's house, saw her house, saw the pool, saw the money, saw the way she was moving, saw the life, saw a crack in the relationship, and was like, how can I get in here? But
I'm gonna go here, Edge. Okay, like I said, my boo didn't have a jet or whatever, but that's the same situation where a girl came over here and then was at the barbecue or whatever, and it was like, oh, it wasn't Kia's friend, but girl, you was in my house, I guess looking around. But now she with Cray Cray. So Porsha, whatever he did to his wife, he gonna do it to Porsha. She gonna get it. So the wife probably sitting back there like ha ha ha. And I ain't one to be like ha ha ha, but now I be like, girlfriend, I bet you see he Cray Cray now, and he still, you know, he dogging you. He didn't want you, but I don't want him. But it's just funny, like I said, how women will do that, and that's what Porsha did. She came over and admired the situation.
Yeah.
And she broke the code, point blank, period. There's no way around it. And like I said, but it also, I bet you, Porsha, let's go here. Like I said, he's saying we're gonna wrap it up. I bet you Porsha seen that in her family. Because most people that behave mad like that, the mama was sleeping with the mailman, and you like when you get older, you be like, that was the, you know, your mama best friend came out the room. That stuff be happening because I didn't see my mom do that, but my cousin that be moving mad, her mama was sleeping with everybody's husband, getting, you know, fighting the girl down the hall. People usually is not far. So Porsha, she moving mad.
Okay.
And like I said, but she get the smoke.
Go ahead. Two things. Why do we all say moving mad now because of Kojo? Because moving mad is not how we talk in the States.
That ain't
start moving mad.
I
Be
say
influenced.
moving mad all the time now.
You gotta be an influencer. You understand?
I say it all the time.
Now my American friends are like, what is mad? You're moving mad. Like y'all in here moving mad. Like
that happened to me. Same here. Now what's up? I be saying the same thing. But back onto with you no more. Back onto the topic. I do believe that social media does influence it. I don't think the competitive nature of women is new. I just think that at one point in time we didn't have anything to compare to. Like when you lived out on the plains and everybody lived acres apart, you don't see your neighbor and what they have and what they don't have. So you were just content with what you had. But the closer the Joneses get to you, the more competitive you get. And now the Joneses are in our hand on social media versus just up the street and down the street. So I think that our competitive nature is just equal to what we have access to compare ourselves to.
Yeah.
And that's why the bag is now something we want to access, this status now we're trying to achieve. So yes, I agree with the ladies.
Boom.
Moving mad.
Okay. As we go down to last words, Maria, you have anything for us as we
Oh, am I supposed to go or Adjoa?
Oh no. Adjoa, you have something to say now? Adjoa, you have anything to say? She said no. Maria, you have anything?
I just want to say, yeah, like this whole situation was crazy. To answer the question about social media, yes, like it's easier to see like what the Joneses are doing on social media, but then also people don't calculate like the repercussions behind these actions. And like, yeah, you might want to flaunt what you're doing on social media, but that lives forever, and your reputation and your name is your value. Like that is the best thing you have. And when that's ruined, I mean, you know, you got to live with that. And also like you get them how you lose them how you get them. Right? So if he's willing to cheat on his wife to get with you, Porsha, and like his wife is not ugly, like she's beautiful. I mean, just as beautiful as you, Porsha.
Yeah.
So what's gonna stop him from moving on to the next beautiful girl that comes on his path and gives him a little bit of play? Like, come on, guys. Like,
yeah,
a Birkin bag for what? Like, all of this materialistic stuff is just, it's not worth it, in my opinion. So, yeah, just think about that, people, when you're out here moving mad in these streets.
While you stay hydrated.
It's hot out here. It's hot out in the streets. All right. Kia, were you able to say anything as we give our final thoughts?
I'm good. I'm over here hot in these American streets.
All right. Dr. Kojo, moving mad. It's hot out here, staying hydrated.
Listen, guys, just don't break the bro code, don't break the girl code. You'll be safe in these streets, all right?
Okay, nice and all put together. Individual, what's up with you? You have any final words for us?
I got nothing. I'm sorry.
Nothing. All right. Didi, what up? Last final thoughts?
Yeah, well, just basically like Coach said, don't break the girl code, don't break the guy code. Be careful who you bring around you. Be careful who you have in your circle. Not everybody is your friend. And just remember,
It's not like Burger King. You cannot always have it your way.
Whoa, okay. I like that. You can't have it your way. Boom. Fine. And I know that I have nothing to say after that. It's true. Girl versus guy code. Who really sticks with it? The truth is, I want to say neither, but that's neither here nor there. But everyone, I want to thank you for coming to the panel this evening. It was a nice, fun discussion. I really appreciate your presence. I hope the people in the chat and the people watching the replay enjoyed it and got something from it. So we'll be heading out now. So good night, everyone.
Bye.